And she said, no, I'm scared because I feel like once you see this little piece of intestine sticking out of my stomach now forever, like you're not going to find me attractive anymore. And I was like, no, you're right. I'm not going to find you attractive. I'm just kidding.
You're like, this is a really bad time to tell you.
This is not what they said in the preview.
Sign these papers. We're done.
You're listening to the Laughing Couple podcast with your hosts, Brittany and Ryan Ostafy. Join them weekly as they discuss topics such as relationships, kids, sex, parenting, all unfiltered and all with a healthy dose of laughter. Please welcome your hosts, Brittany and Ryan Ostafy.
Ready?
Shall we go for it?
Saline.
Hey guys,
What's going on?
how are you?
What a
Do you
perfect
hear
intro.
that? Do you hear that?
What?
Silence.
No kids at home.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
do you hear that?
I wish so bad Cooper was
Yeah.
like, Mom.
The meatloaf.
Mom!
Mom, the meatloaf.
I swear we quote that so much, and if someone doesn't understand it, we're questioning our friendship.
We can no longer be friends.
Sorry.
Well, welcome, guys.
When my kids hear me on the phone, they're like, Dad, you swear so much. I'm like, I know.
You're like, I'm an adult.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Sorry.
How come you're allowed to swear and we're not allowed to swear? There's a lot of things I'm allowed to do that you're not allowed to do.
Exactly.
Well, we hear them every once in a while on their PlayStation. They a couple of words here and there. I'm like, yo, bro,
100%.
we can hear you, eh?
I know. We let our 9-year-old swear because she really likes Doja Cat's new song, like Paint the Town Red. So she likes to say bitch.
Say the word.
But I let her say it in the car only. And so she thinks she's like so cool. She's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
bitch.
Love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Cooper thinks he's doing it too, but he says bench.
Yeah.
So we just allow. He's like, yeah, bench.
Okay, in case anybody
bench
isn't.
better.
Yeah, bench is better. When we were kids, I don't know if you guys did this, because when we were kids, and I think we're all relatively the same age, we weren't allowed to swear, like, period. We're not allowed to swear. So I grew up with 2 older sisters, and they would finish the uck for my fuh. Whenever we were upset at someone, I would say, fuh, uck, you. And
Yeah, because you're technically not swearing then.
Exactly. It was a group effort, which is hilarious because there was no parents around. There was no
you could have
adults
just
around.
said
I could have
it.
just been like, fuck you, bro. But instead I did the fuh and they did the k, and I always ended it with the you. Fuck you.
In case anybody isn't watching this and just listening, we have Sean Desmans and his lovely wife Chantelle here. So,
Oh, yeah.
we're all
Jesus,
like, hey
what a-
guys.
Yeah.
Like no one, everyone's like, who are you talking to?
It's actually my girlfriend. My wife is not home right now.
Oh, right. Yeah. So awkward.
We'll talk about Erica later.
Yeah. That wasn't Amazon at the door. It was his girlfriend. Just kidding. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about today, but basically when we start a podcast with guests, we always do something called I Love You and You're Annoying. Everybody knows that you guys love each other, but we want to know something that bothers you about your spouse. So I've already pre-read them and I laughed very hard, but who wants to go first?
I don't
Unless something happened today, which is
yeah.
really on your mind and you want to work it out.
I can't even remember what I put down if I'm being
Oh, I'll
completely
remind you
honest.
if you'd like.
Okay. I know what hers is. She can go first.
Chantelle, why don't
if
you
she
go first?
wants.
Well, there's a few, but I'll stick with one.
Shocker.
I'll stick with one. I love you, but it annoys me that he eats snacks in bed, like
fair.
popcorn, but like I wake up with kernels on the face.
Stop.
So
She does, actually.
I, like this is not like I swear, and like it's crummy, and it's just so that's really fucking annoying.
I love that.
You don't have to swear. Don't swear just to swear, though. Like, you didn't have to add the fucking.
I also read that
It's an elevated annoyance.
Yeah.
It is.
Kernels on the face is pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie. Eating in bed, not so much. But if it ends up on your person's.
And didn't I
probably
read
be.
something that it's like Sean eats a sandwich in a circle or something? Or a
No, like you guys, I could be on here for a whole hour just talking about the.
And then I
like, what does that mean though? Like, do you
Okay.
eat the perimeter?
So anything circular, he eats in a circle, but it needs to be the exact same size all the way around. And every time he bites, he makes sure he looks at it, and so that the middle is the best part.
I'm a tad OCD.
Yeah.
Oh
Did
my
you always
God.
do this? Like even growing up?
As a kid,
Interesting.
always.
So-
How do you eat an
is
Oreo?
Food. No,
I don't eat Oreos.
Yeah, but I feel like it's sandwiches, Okay, and fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit is like, he goes
Skin first.
but just the skin.
Yeah.
I have something
Okay,
to
so
say.
like this, and then turn, and then this. So there's 4 squares, and then you'll eat the squares, and then you'll eat the inside.
Sounds normal.
Yeah.
That's
Gummy bears,
amazing.
I like separate them by color. So then I'll have a red and a green together, an orange and a red together.
Like, do you like put like a green head, an orange stomach, and then
No. I
Yeah,
just
me
separate
neither.
them by color. Yeah.
I do.
So straight up, I've never.
Are you going to tell the apple
I've
thing?
never admitted
Oh
this
my God,
before,
this is
but
so funny.
What?
I thought you were going to tell the apple thing.
No, I will. You can tell that story after, but no, I'm a pop. That's how I eat my Pop-Tarts. I know.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you don't eat Oreos, you don't eat Pop-Tarts.
But as a kid,
I
did you
get
ever
it.
eat a Pop-Tart with the
But
icing
I
in the middle?
always eat the perimeter because
As a kid, I did.
the middle part. I want to say, why would I want to eat that first?
Yeah, I get that.
I don't even want my palate to know what that tastes. It comes in 2. I eat both of them on the outside, and then I enjoy every single bite of the 2 that remain of just the inside.
Those are good. I
That
love
makes
you and your
sense.
wings.
That makes sense. And sandwiches, I put more meat on it than I should because I don't want there to be a single part of the sandwich that doesn't have meat on it. I'm an excessive meat on sandwich guy. I
butter
feel
and
like
jam?
we are.
Yeah,
Oh,
peanut
yeah.
butter and jam, the crust first, and then it gets
Always.
sink into that middle.
The only problem with peanut butter and jam, if you do that, is the jam comes out the other end sometimes.
Hold on. I love that
Yeah.
people are like, hey, what did you guys talk about? Well, we talked about like sandwiches and like how serious they are. Okay,
I eat
so
sandwiches in bed sometimes too, and I collect the crusts in my, in my shirt, and then I'll stand up and like, oops, all over the bed.
You guys
all the
have no
time.
idea.
I can't. Okay, I think Shawn, yours was like, I think it was Amazon. Like she orders too much from Amazon, and like
Yeah.
robes and purses and shoes or something.
Yeah. Oh, robes. If you see the back of our
Robes,
bathroom
eh?
door,
That's so
like
funny.
there's at least 15 robes back
Okay,
there.
not 15.
But one for each occasion.
I like them. I like the thinner ones for like, I don't know, out of the pool one, coming out of the bath another, like
There's that. And then when she asks me a question that she knows the answer to, but she just wants me to say it, like, I don't
Right.
know why but I'm like, it's so easy. You know the answer. Why do I need to tell you the answer?
Is it like is if it's like setting you up to be like, I already know you know this, or is it like not that deep? Like, are you Chantelle? Are you like,
give an example.
yeah.
I don't know.
she's like, let's
Okay,
talk about
okay.
it.
Babe, what was that person's name again? And I'm like, no, you do. There's things that you do remember. You want me to say them for some reason. I don't know
No,
why.
I think you just think I do. And maybe I just have a hard time remembering things like that. Or when
that's
I say, babe, what's the lyrics to that song?
Yeah. And I'm like,
Don't-
come on, just think about it. Just start singing
With
it,
those
maybe.
pretty brown eyes.
Yeah. What's the lyric? Babe, sing the song. It's gonna
She's like,
come
I don't
to you.
even know that song, so
Yeah.
I don't know that song. No, but I actually don't know the lyrics, babe. I'm asking you because I don't know, which is quicker. Like, just help me.
I love that. You're not great with lyrics either.
I'm terrible with
It's
lyrics.
not lyrics though, it's other things.
I will. I'm not gonna help your case here, Chantelle. I'm not team Chantelle, but I will say I just saw a study that said pajamas and robes need to be changed every 3 days.
What do you mean?
They need to be changed because some people like to wear the same pajamas around the house every 3
I
days.
went for like 7 days.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I just read a thing, and it's like if you wear the same pajamas, if you don't change them every 3 days, you got some issues.
I feel like
So
the
maybe you
underwear
need-
is more
maybe you need 8
important than
robes.
the pajamas.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the robe is typically you wear the robe after a shower, so it collects moisture, and then moisture collects mold, so you got to change it. So
Well, she has 15, so she's good.
She has 8.
I think I have 8. I don't have
All right.
It's one too many.
I like
You need
it.
2 robes. You need 2 robes.
Okay,
A
let's go
sexy
in.
one and then like an everyday.
I'm an air it out. I like to air it out. Robes are for suckers. That's what I say.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a robe.
I don't think I've ever said robes are for suckers either. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay, you guys have 3 kids, right?
Yes.
How old are your kids?
One's going to be 15 tomorrow. One is 12, and our youngest is 8.
Oh my God, that's like 15. Do you ever have those moments where, and this might just be us, but sometimes we have 2 kids, like 9 and 5, but sometimes I'm like, holy shit, like I'm a parent and I made 2 kids. Like it's obviously they like those are your kids, but I'm like, how am I a parent? Like we just talked about how I don't feel like an adult sometimes. And then you look at your kids, you're like, oh my God, like I made those, but 15, that's wild. How do you feel about that?
I do the same thing like you do. There's days I'm sitting on the couch and I look around and I'm like, this is my family. Like, this is my family. Like, it's bizarre. But then having our son going into grade 10, and he's like a man. Like,
he's huge. He's taller than all of us.
Yeah. And he just like, he's very independent. He's very mature. He's 15, but he's not, right? Like 30. He's 30. Like, he's an old soul. So like legit an old soul.
Basically, he wants to hang out with like his grandmas.
Yeah, he loves hanging out.
That's what he loves to do.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like, we're like,
sweet.
You want to go do something? No, I'm just going to go to they call it Bava.
Yeah.
We're going to Bava's house and we're just going to play cards.
Yeah.
I'm like
he just has
he is an old soul.
No, since baby, like he would just hang out with the grandparents, very chill, like, and so seeing him and the other day I was like sitting on the couch and I said to him, I got emotional because it was just our daughter kind of hanging around us. And I said, oh my God, like our boys are already like doing their own thing. And soon our daughter's going to be doing the same thing. And then it's just us.
Yes.
Like, do we like each other? Like, do we?
I hope so.
Well, you guys have known each other since you were 12, right? Yeah.
So you're Owen's age. Owen is 12.
Yeah.
That's wild, eh? We grew up across the street from one another. So like we know what it's like to be like, I mean, I can't think about it just being us two, but I also remember like it was just us two for a long time, but you do grow. And so that kind of, I want to talk about, obviously you're in the public eye. And so being married alone is work. Like it just takes work to stay married.
Work.
It does. Like people are just like, oh no, we're fine. Like, no, it takes conversations, it takes check-ins, but then being married in the public eye is another layer of stress. And so I want to know a couple things. Do you guys have maybe like not a rule book or like a playbook, but when it comes to like press or like whatever, do you guys ever have like check-ins where you're like, listen, like this is a crazy time. Like, let's make sure we're doing this, this, and this. Or is there something that you feel like you do differently that keeps you humble, that keeps you stronger and keeps you together? Because you often see a lot of celebrities and they don't last or they get divorced or whatever. And I'm always curious to know what other couples are doing to keep them together and just be present with one another.
How have you made it work?
Yeah. In less words.
Can I go?
You go.
Actually, no, you go. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I didn't. So in the beginning of my career, it's funny, and Chantelle will.
Not funny.
So in the beginning of my career, I kind of had to hide our relationship.
Right.
So because there was no appeal of, oh, I could maybe be Shawn's girlfriend, so in the beginning days,
I thought about it
because people were delulu. Yeah. They were like, I got a chance.
We'd be out at the same place and I'd be like away from her and she's there and girls are literally grinding on me and I can see the smoke like coming out of her ears. And
Valid.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But my manager made it very clear, like, you don't have a girlfriend, you are single.
Wow.
And like all these girls need to believe or think that they can get with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until like pretty recent that I was very vocal about like I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a good group of people that we hang out with and like everybody that I work with, friends, family that have always like, I've never been the type to let stuff ever get to my head. And I think Chantelle can say that, like, I'm just the same person I've always been. Yep. Just happens that people like my music and like me, I guess. So like nothing's ever changed in that sense, but I always like, I think with her and especially more recently as we get older, I start to realize that like, I'm like, babe, we really have to, especially with kids, you guys can understand, like everything is about the fucking kids.
Yes.
And that's fine. We're parents. We chose to be parents, but like, we need to do things for us, make time for us, date night. We went to Cuba this summer for like, I'm like, we don't have to go for like a long time, but like 4 or 5 days. Just me and you reconnect, no kids, just chill. Like you need to do these things because 100%. Like she said, at some point our kids are gone and then it's us. Yeah. And what are we going to like, are we cool? Like,
I know.
Do we like each other? Can we hang out? I want to do that because I know like our parents from a different generation and like a different, like, not to say that our parents don't love each other, but it's just different. They're okay with like not sleeping in the same bed. And like, I don't want to do that. I always want to sleep in the same bed as my wife. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me, but
so do I. But I snore too much, apparently.
See, that's what they say as an excuse. But I'm like, I don't buy it.
I've said the same. Like, I think you grow and you mature and you change. I think with age you change, and I think that's the whole thing. And I think the one issue that we had in a relationship from the get-go was communication. For me, I really need communication in my life. I need him to talk to me. I need him to tell me what his day-to-day is. Like, I shouldn't be finding out news when everybody else is fucking finding out news on Instagram or whatever. Right. Like, I should be, on board. And I think that was one conversation I had with him like years and years and years ago, that I get it. I can't be your girlfriend out there, but I'm still your girlfriend. And I still need to be a part of that. I need to feel that, because it was very hard to be and not to be, and like have to play, like I was an actress, like I had to and that was very hard. And a lot of friends were like, how are you doing this?
Right.
How are you still doing this? But because I knew he was a good guy, and I loved to be there and support him, and I wanted to be there. And to be quite honest, seeing other girls wanting him was like almost like a turn on even for me.
Yeah. Well, he's coming home with me, bitch.
She admitted it. Not today, Susan.
No, it's still, exactly.
It's hilarious that you think you have a chance.
It's kind of hot.
It's just being honest. Like, I feel like, it's a turn on to be like, but he's coming home to me.
Yeah.
So let's just, keep it together.
She's getting all this.
100%. I remember when we used to go out, like back before we had kids, we would go out to the bar and Ryan would be like, go. And then like I would go to the bar and somebody would hit on me, and I always got 2 drinks. And and we're both very flirtatious people, but like just friendly. And we're not very jealous people, but he would be like, go. And I would go to the bar, we get drinks, and some guy would buy me a drink. And then I'd be like, well, can I have 2? And he'd be like, sure. And then I would take it back to Ryan.
Wow.
He was like, thanks, babe. And that was what we did.
It's not really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
appreciate you, man.
But I love the communication thing is so true. And to go back to being like, dating is so important because you become parents, but being something outside of parents is huge. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why we started the podcast 3 years ago, because we were both growing, but we were growing separately, parallel. Like, we're all going this way, but we weren't doing anything together. So we were like, let's do something together. And the creationship is like what we call it. And it's something that we both had interest in. And that could be, maybe we're not like, hey, go start a podcast, but just doing something that you both have vested interest in. Maybe that's a reno, maybe that's vacation, maybe those planning dates, but it's so important to be something beyond just a parent.
Yeah. And the communication thing too, like I wasn't, and it's not, and it's not an excuse, but like, I wasn't brought up in a house where you came home and you talked about your feelings, and you like none of that. So like, and it's not an excuse, and I am learning and I'm becoming better. And she can, especially in the last year, I've been like a little bit of an emotional mess. But like, I wasn't brought up like that. If I came home and I was sad, I didn't go to mom and dad and say I was sad. And not because they would have not like, it just wasn't a thing that we did.
It was boomers too, though. They were just like, are you good? You're good. Bye.
100%. So
it was walk it off, but they weren't being rude about it.
Yeah, just how they were raised.
They didn't have the tools necessary to have the conversation.
I don't think I did either. But I know that I wanted more for my kids and for us.
Oh yeah. Now with our kids, it's a completely different upbringing.
Yeah. So I tell them all the time, like and that's why I say, like, if we're crying, sometimes we cry outside. We don't hide in the bathroom. Just like when I was suffering from my colitis and I had really bad days, I wanted them to see it. When he has a bad day and he comes home and he sits on the couch and he's crying, it's okay for my boys and our boys to see it, because that's real life, and that's kind of why I kept pushing him with like, you need to, if you can't talk to me, you need to talk to someone. Right. But at the end of the day, I want you to be able to come talk to me. You know what I mean? Like I should be that person, that comfort. So
let's talk about that, because there's a whole movement right now and everyone is, and I just love it. It's such a good lesson and you're for everyone, but like Love Me with the Lights On, like this whole movement of really body positivity, making sure that your spouse knows that you love their imperfections. Like it's so powerful. And I love that, Chantelle, you're the base of this, but it speaks to so many people. And I think it speaks to your children too. Like it shows them.
My daughter was on set for that whole thing. I was like, she needs to be there.
That is amazing. And like, tell us about that. How has this affected you? Have you had people write in? Like, I'm sure.
Well, let's talk about the journey, because not a lot of people, not everyone knows the journey. Let's go with the journey first, and then we'll kind of come back.
Chantelle, yeah, like how did everything come about? Like, let's hear if you're comfortable talking about that.
No, of course. I have ulcerative colitis. I was diagnosed about 6 years ago, but I've had issues for many years.
Okay.
But it was always
she had an old doctor that was like, oh yeah, IBS. I'm like,
IBS. Like
anyways.
3 years. Anyway, it got so bad that I was like, there's something going on. I know my body. Anyways, I ended up telling my doctor, I think I need to go for a colonoscopy. Like, I think that's what I need to do. So I went for one. And then right after the colonoscopy, they said, yes, you have colitis. So then after that, I was on a lot of like oral medications. And then I went on to infusions. So every 6 weeks, it was like a chemo that I would go to in a clinic and do it through IV. And I would sit there for 4 hours and I would do this.
Probably a lot of trial and error. Lots.
I was on so many different medications. Anyways, then I started getting bad on the medications. And then I was on prednisone. And then I was on these. And it just got so bad that I was like, okay, I don't think the meds are working anymore. We actually were going on we renewed our vows 15 years. And I remember leaving that morning and I was in the washroom and I was bawling. And I literally said, I don't think I could go. Like, I don't think, I'm like, go with the kids, just make it a vacation.
Right.
But I popped a million Imodiums. Whatever I had to do, got on the plane, and it was a rocky vacation. So when I got back, I got worse. And then I got something called C. diff, which is a bacterial infection in your stomach that I think I got on vacation because my immune system was so low. So then after that, I took myself to the hospital, and then they said, okay, you're so bad. Like, you're not leaving. You're doing the surgery now. So I think it was 3 days, right? I think it was 3 or 4 days after I was there. They did the surgery, which is now I live with an ileostomy bag.
Right.
So I have the option to do the reversal if I want to, but because I was in so much distress, they don't think it would work. And so I don't want to really go through that back and forth. So I have one more major surgery to do in the next year. And then that will make the ileostomy bag permanent.
Right.
And they basically remove literally everything, my whole intestine, my colon, my rectum, like everything.
And do you find that it's like your comfort level, like with the bag is like beyond, you're like this, I feel so much better. You're not dealing with the stomach.
I could actually, I didn't say this, but I couldn't even go for a walk around the block with my kids on the bike. That's how bad it got, because I was going to the washroom 20 times a day and I was just in so much pain. And because I was losing weight, I was tired. Like, I was just literally not in a good place. So when they told me about the surgery, I was a little excited as much as I was nervous because I wanted a quality of life. I wanted to be able to go. I would never carpool my kids with a friend because I was nervous. I couldn't go.
We had a toilet in the back.
I had
of
a
the van.
portable
like, you have a
toilet.
toilet because she would just pull over and go and shit.
But it wasn't even shit.
Yeah, it's not. It's like
not,
blood.
It's like I'm just passing blood. That's literally what it is. So, and my kids knew it, and my kids would look at me and be like, Mom, just pull over. Like, they just knew. Mom, just pull over. Yeah. So now with the bag, of course, it's not ideal. It's, I dealt with a lot of mental, being able to look at my body and be like, this is going to be me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But the fact that I could sit in a car and get a pizza and sit in my front seat with my kid and eat pizza and just shoot the shit, it's so worth it. Because I couldn't do that before. And I remember right after surgery, it was like maybe 4 months in, I literally did that exact thing. And we sat down and I said to him, he said, Mom, doesn't this feel good? Done. Like, that's all I need. Like, they see it. They saw the pain. So I don't want to cry.
Oh my goodness. It's and it's a testament to your relationship too, that your whole family was like, listen, it is what it is. We're going to do whatever whatever we need to do to support you. And those small moments, like, I'm going to get emotional just for your son to be like, isn't this the best? It's the smallest things.
Yeah. And I think then with this video, you can continue, but it was a surprise.
Really?
I didn't know any of it. So go ahead.
Yeah, no. So after like her surgery was done and everything, and I tell the story, I've told the story like so many times, but we were in the hospital and she was about to go in and she's like, I'm so scared. And I said, yeah, of course you're scared. You're going in for a major surgery. You should be scared. I'd be scared. And she said, no, I'm scared because I feel like once you see this little piece of intestine sticking out of my stomach now forever. Like, you're not going to find me attractive anymore. And I was like, no, you're right. I'm not going to find you attractive. I'm just kidding.
You're like, this is a really bad time to tell you.
This is not what they said in the pre-interview.
Sign these papers. We're done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm actually leaving. No.
I fucking hate you.
So I was like, I'm like, no, you don't got to worry about that. I'm like, your health is first. And like, you're always going to be the sexiest and most beautiful girl for me. Right. And so like, this is all happening like literally right before Maniac came out. Like, it's so much. And then I'm like, but everybody around me, like, honestly, my record label, man, they were so like sending food to the house, like flowers and just like whatever you need, like, just let us know. Like, we know it's a lot. And so I was like, yo, I want to write a song like for Chantelle, but also like that will kind of resonate with I think it's so important in 2023, like now with social media and everything, that like there's this facade that everybody looks perfect and everybody has to be perfect. And I'm like, that's not reality, man. Like, so I'm like, how do we write a song for her? And then like for everybody that kind of feels the way Chantelle feels. So we did it. And then this whole idea with Knicks comes into play. And I'm like, oh, that is incredible. And like, literally when we told them the idea, they were like, sign us up, we're in, that's it. Like, you guys do what you like, whatever you need, let us know. And then of course, like I reach out to Sarah and Alicia and Kat and Nat, and without hesitation is like, yes, tell us where and tell us when.
Right.
And so I had the proposal like on my phone that we sent to Nick's, and I was like, we were actually sitting in the backyard, like just hanging out by the pool. And I was like, here, I want you to read this.
Wait, backtrack though. I saw you post something.
Right. I posted, I'm such an idiot. I posted a story like about something like, oh, something amazing is happening right now. And meanwhile, I hadn't said anything to her. So she answers my DM.
There's only one rule. She doesn't find out on social media.
Thank you.
So
she DM you.
She messages me from the, like, you know, when you reply to somebody's story, she's like, what's the big news? And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I forgot she did. I'm like, I can't tell you. I literally just said, I can't tell you yet.
But when you said that, then I kind of got like, okay, it's obviously something. It's a surprise. Like I didn't want to like dig.
And then, if you want to continue.
No, and then he showed me his phone, and again, I was oblivious. I started reading it, and it was like just getting deeper and deeper and more beautiful as I read. And of course, I got emotional. I started bawling. As you see, I'm very emotional. I cry about everything. And so I looked at him like, what? And he's like, yeah, this is happening. And he's like,
so cool.
And I want you to be in it. But if you don't want to be in it, like, you don't have to. But I think it'd be awesome if you were. And I took a little time to think about it, because I'm like, do I not? I don't know if I'm ready. Anyways. And then basically it all started. We went to the next anniversary party. And then that's kind of when I met a few of the girls. And
I literally went up to Alicia at the party. I'd never met her before. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Shawn. I love you and your husband. And I want you to be in my music video. She's like, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. Next. I'm like,
so chill.
So it was just, and being on set that day, like we kind of said it, it was such an incredible, like.
Yeah, I love the idea. And like, when I could talk about it all, but like when we were actually shooting in there, I was like, I told the director, I'm like, I don't think you realize like what we're doing here today. I'm like, this is fucking special. Like,
so powerful. This
is going to touch so many people. Like, no word of a lie, guys. Like, my phone still just like, and when I'm like, so the other day I went to Fortino's to buy cold cuts, and the girl behind the counter was like, I don't want to make it a big deal that you're here. And like, I know, and I'm like, it's fine. And she's like, but I just want to say thank you, because of your video and your song, I feel seen. And I'm like,
small moments, I'm sure.
I'm like, can you come around and give me a hug? I'm like, Jesus Christ. And this happens all the time.
That's so powerful.
And I know I'm not a Shawn Desmans, like I'm his wife, whatever, but the amount of people that I have reached just because of speaking about my story.
Right.
You guys wouldn't imagine, I sort of keep cutting. How many people have colitis and bags?
Like,
because you have no idea.
No.
They wear clothes. You wouldn't know. Like right now, I could be wearing one, or you could be wearing no, unless I tell you that I'm wearing an ostomy bag.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those diseases that people are embarrassed to talk about.
So how would you know?
Right. So it's not like, something that it's like an easy conversation. So people hide it. And I've just because of my story, I have had so many people like with kids that have ostomy bag.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy.
Women that message me to say their husbands have it and they can't handle it. Me being a woman and showing how strong I am, just like babies born and they have to have it. Like it's just
a lady at my gym has it or had it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Her husband left her. Yeah. He couldn't handle it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit.
Good riddance.
But I'm saying like, it's just speaking about it is huge. And if I could just make one person feel not alone, because I felt very alone at the beginning of this because I didn't know anyone else that had it.
You didn't even know what it was at first, right?
Yeah. I had no idea what it was. Then I remember when I was admitted the first time, actually the nurse looked at me and said, honey, I think it was her son. My son has this, and I'm going to give you one piece of advice. You need to start going on social media and find people that you can connect with, because this is a very lonely and sad disease. And literally, I was in the hospital for 12 days, and that's when you were gone.
Yeah.
And that's all I did for 12 days is I kind of just searched through people and spoke. Yeah. And I just found this little community of people. And that's now what I'm doing for people. So I just think it's just a beautiful thing. And obviously with Shawn's video, it just made it even that much bigger. And it's been amazing. Honestly, it's been really amazing.
I acknowledge the two of you guys because you have a platform to have this conversation. And most people who have this platform would avoid this conversation. Going into the hospital, your number one fear wasn't the surgery. It was what your husband was going to think of your body moving forward. And I'm going to say this, when you look like Shawn Desmans and you're on the beach and you travel and you experience the life that you guys have created for yourselves, there are so many situations where you are going to be exposed in that light. Most people would hide in that. To be able to come out and say that is so significant because of the platform that you have. I'm sure there's a lot of people who come out and say this, but they talk to 7 people. You talk to millions of people. I sent Brittany a message the other day on Instagram because there's this new filter that's, I don't even know how it works, but it's perfect. It is absolutely,
you can't tell it's a filter.
Perfect. There's no filter.
Yeah.
You can put your hand over it. It doesn't change it. And I said to Brittany, I'm like, this is the stuff we need to get ahead of.
Yeah.
This is the conversations we need to have with our 9-year-old daughter because this is the world she's coming into. And if she believes that filtered reality is reality, she will not like the version of herself that she sees in the mirror. So to have someone like yourself from the platform that you have to be able to reach to people and say, you are who you are. And for Shawn, for you to embrace this, say, like, I look at this, Chantelle, this is your journey. This is also Shawn's journey. For me as a husband who cares deeply about my wife, would this affect me? Not in the least bit.
What do you mean?
You are you. Like,
oh, you mean like it wouldn't make it any different?
Yeah, it's you. But
you're like, I don't give a shit if you're going through that. That's what I came across.
For me, it's like,
this is like really taking a dark turn.
Yeah, where'd you go with that, Brittany? But for me, it's like, this is your journey. I'm here with you. I'm here to support you and do whatever it is. The idea of someone being so connected to you, and you're beautiful, and I fell in love with you, and that had a lot to do with it. But that's not a relationship anymore.
I think the sad thing though, that's not the norm for everybody, right? And that's society. It's those filters. Like I made a conscious effort not to use filters on Instagram, I think in the beginning of the year, because it was like a mind fuck. Like it was like psychological warfare. Like I would see myself, like if we were filming for the podcast, which is never filtered. And I'm like, do I look like that? And it was wild because I just kept picking it apart. And then I'm like, I don't want my daughter looking at this, and I would never have those conversations in front of her, but it really does mess up your brain. And I have felt so much better about myself. Like I think I accidentally put a filter on one of our podcast promos, and it was wild. I didn't mean to do it. And I was like, this is so bizarre.
I called it out. I'm like, what is this?
Well, Ryan has this like beautiful complexion over his beard.
I'm like, I don't look like that.
He's like, I wasn't wearing foundation. What the fuck is that?
It's like when it gets rid of the bags under my eyes and stuff, I'm like, that's not real.
It's really, really damaging. Okay.
It's so easy. It's so easy to fall into that, right? So
it's crazy. So we love what you guys are doing. I want to end on something kind of fun. So we talked about just the importance of like date days, even if they're just like at home. You guys have 3 kids. Sometimes if our kids are we can't get a sitter, we'll do something like in the house, whatever it is. But I thought it would be fun to ask both of you what you think that your partner's ideal date day would be. So Chantelle, if you could tell me what you think, if you're like, hey babe, like, what do you want to do today for the perfect date day? What would be Sean's response? And then vice versa. Can you imagine you're like so wrong?
I think I know.
I know how it's gonna start and end.
So
that's fair.
Sean is it's very easy. So it would be probably get someone to do a massage, like a couple's massage, hang out by the pool, order some food in, and then the entire evening in bed watching movies and literally just
eating sandwiches.
Yeah, fornicating.
In the bed.
Circular sandwiches while in between fornication.
Circular sandwiches sounds like a sex position.
Maybe it is.
Circular sandwiches in the room.
Maybe it is for the Desmans.
Yeah. We did something really fun in the backyard the other day.
Babe.
What?
Babe.
No, I was like, I think we should just be naked in our backyard.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
We 100% did it. I was like, hell yeah.
It's because our kids are home all the time.
Yeah.
And so, and our house, the way our house is situated, like the houses beside us are a little smaller, so the windows can't look in.
Right.
Like they're not
a fishbowl.
So right. So he was like, yeah, why don't we just like skinny dip when the kids are in school? And I was like, we'll see.
We did more than skinny dip.
Yeah.
We're skinny fucked.
And then I messaged him, I'm like, awesome. Did you put the heater on in the pool? He's like, no, but I can do it right now.
Yeah.
He's like out there pouring hot water in the pool. It's beautiful.
And it was one of those things that was very spontaneous, which again, it's hard to do when you have kids. And now that our kids are older,
right?
If our bedroom door is closed, it's like they know what the fuck's happening. And
I'm like, we have to close our door.
Yeah.
But I hate knowing that they know.
Right.
It bothers me. Like I need.
Yo, my 15-year-old, if you walk it, you might see some shit, bro. I'm sorry.
No.
You're going to learn today.
We're not there yet. Like
you're going to learn today.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's fair though. 15 is fair. I think
he
that
walks
like
in, bro. I'm not kidding. The door's open.
He just walks in.
He just walks in, goes to the walk. I'm like, dude, you can't just walk. You don't walk into your room. We always knock before we go.
But it's because we haven't really made him feel like had to, right? It was very comfortable. Can I speak?
Yeah.
Comfortable.
It's like your mom might be singing into the microphone. You're gonna come in and like, I'm sorry.
Anyways, we've never. Anyway, now we do close the door and lock it because our kids will just walk in. But it's still a mindfuck for me that they know that if the door's closed.
And isn't it like, dude? Sometimes it's like, babe, it's fucking 11:30. Are these kids gonna go to sleep?
Oh my god!
It's like. I'm trying to get some, but I'm also getting real fucking tired right now. Like,
we always talk about that too. Like we're not at the spot yet where if Riley comes in, we're not going to be like, you get what you see. Like we're going to be like, we're wrestling. But like we've talked about this before. And we always call them like the intimacy ninja. And we like Riley has come in before when we were young or when she was young.
Ruined
it
for Brittany.
Well, like she was just, I woke up and she was just fucking standing there.
Yeah,
and I was like,
to us.
Oh my God. So she left. And then I was like, go, go, go. And so he dealt with it. She was kind of delusional. He comes back. He was like, Mary. And I was like, absolutely not. No, like, I am traumatized. And he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, no.
There was a situation. That situation has been dealt with. Now let's go back to the situation.
I was like looking up therapy. How long is she going to have this in her brain?
That's the difference between, the male and female. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm like, now I can't get back into this. Like
100%.
Just like when.
All right, then you just lay there. Let me get back into it.
just like when Owen was going, he was calling me, Mom, from the door because it was locked. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, Mom, are you okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, I thought Dad was hurting you. And I was like, oh, he's just giving me a really deep.
It's a good hurt.
Yeah. It's a good pain.
Yeah, it's a good hurt. He kind of is, but it's not bad.
I love that.
It was a good deep massage. So.
Okay. What is your,
Well, she loves massages just as much as I do. So I think like a nice massage, salsa, Latin dancing.
Oh. Oh, fun.
Loves to Latin dance. I went one time with her. It was actually
too bad you're not a good dancer, eh?
Yeah, it would have been so awkward
wow,
for
that's
you.
awkward.
I thought he wouldn't like it because that's not his like scene. But then after that night, you were like, I actually had a really good time.
Yeah, my favorite part was when she was puking on the way home and I didn't have sex that night because I honestly thought we were going to.
Yeah. This salsa dancing
Like,
is
fuck
bullshit.
this salsa dancing.
I could see her taking the shots and I'm like, one more is going to take her over the fucking edge. And then I'm fucking shit out of luck.
You just know it's
My
coming, eh?
God, I feel like we live the same life.
I know. I threw up violently in a fucking Timbit box on the way home on the highway.
On the QEW.
Like literally, and it was a 10-pack, so it was fucking seeping through.
On our way to Wonderland.
Ryan's
this is going to be awesome.
Cool, I guess. And we had a hotel, so he was like, awesome.
I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
So yeah, I think massage, Latin dancing, maybe dinner before Latin dancing, and then I think with her, like, you like
What?
you like having sex, right?
I love that it was like a question.
I do.
I think it's a guy thing, but like anytime the kids are not home,
Yeah.
I'm just assuming like, tonight is
on.
going down. Like
100%.
We're gonna be loud and like fucking shit, and like nobody's gonna hear us, and like just tell me everything, talk dirty to me. I'm just saying.
But and for me, I don't think that all the time. Like if the kids aren't home, like I want to just chill on the couch, watch my show,
Be a potato.
And
I actually enjoy massaging her.
You do.
Like I will go full body 45 minutes, no problem.
Yeah, it turns you on.
But that's what Ryan does it. He's like, do you want a massage? I'm like, okay. He's like, I swear that's all it's going to be. I'm like, right. It never ends at that. And I'm like, it's fine.
It only happens because you get horny.
Okay. Well, when someone's rubbing my ass, I feel like it's hard not to.
Right here, right, babe? Yeah, this is good. What if I just...
Yeah. Just a little slip.
Oh, it's so weird that it went that way. I wasn't trying to be sexual.
I didn't mean to do that.
Did this just get wet?
Yeah, that's so strange.
Yeah, I know exactly
Sounds like
that feeling.
Great day.
It's the truth. I'm not going to categorize gender in this light, but I will say the millisecond that the kids and Brittany leave the house, the first thing I think about is, oh, I might as well masturbate. So I hear you. When the kids are gone, if the kids are gone and it's just Brittany and I, why would that not be the conclusion for the evening?
Hello?
That's fair. I get it.
It is fair, but it's
Well, I love that your perfect date nights end the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, minus the puking.
Yeah.
No,
I love that they end the same
just
way.
like it's one less shot.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just the one less.
I know.
So if we can end it one way, this is your platform, this is your space, this is your time. Is there a message you want to send out to our community? Because what you guys are doing is incredible, but I want that to be your space to have that conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I loved it. And thank you for inviting us on here. Like when I got the message on TikTok, I was like, oh my God, yes.
I love it.
And I feel like because it's, this is so like relationship based and everything, like it's work, you know what I mean? And if you really love somebody, you make it work and you put in the effort and the time.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, remember to make like I said, make the time for yourselves. And then also I like to talk about like, I mean, I think also, behind Love Me With the Lights On, everybody watching this, I want you to feel that way. And like, I want you to be able to like embrace those imperfections and instead of hiding them, showcase them. And I honestly feel like you do that for a little bit,
It's better and easier.
it gets better and easier because those things are a part of you. And so you'll learn to embrace those things and like champion them and just not give a shit what people think. At the end of the day, at the beginning of my career, I really cared about what people thought. I don't fucking care anymore. Like
power.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm 41 years old. I don't have fucking time to like look at read people's shitty comments and like I'm just like, I respond with like,
I laugh at your responses.
I just say smile. It really feels good. Just smile.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And it's not a hard, it's not an easy thing to do because I still have really bad days and there's days I'm still hard on myself. And I'm sure it's not like trying to make this look like it was easy because sometimes people say that to me, oh, you're making this look so easy. I just try to make people feel strong enough to be that. You can still have your bad days. You're still going to have your bad days, but I think having support, and if it's not a husband, if it's a sister, if it's a friend, if it's a child, just to be able to like speak and communicate and share all your things. Like Shawn said, the second you start doing that, you just start feeling better.
Yeah.
You just start feeling better. And
if anything too, if you need to, seek professional help.
Yeah.
I literally did that for like a year.
Have the conversation. That's just it. Continue the conversation. Keep having them. Some days are going to be good. Some days are going to be not so great. But as long as you're talking about it, you're on the right track.
And I think that's why I'm loving this, is because the people that are reaching out to me, it just feels so good that I could be that support for them, you know? And I think you're getting that too. And it's beautiful. And that's why thank you so much for asking us to talk on this, because right away I was like, who, Brittany, what? I was like, I was freaking out, but
she wasn't. She's joking. She's lying.
When she said who, she meant who?
Yeah.
Question mark?
No, she literally knew exactly who you
know
were.
You are. And I even copied you last year Halloween look face skeleton. Go lurk on my posts. I literally did the same face as you. I'm like, that's sick. I got to do it with the wig and everything. So yes, I knew exactly who you were. I was so excited about being on this, and yeah,
we appreciate you guys so much. This has been such an honest, amazing conversation. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, continue with the journey, and thank you for everything that you're doing for everyone else, because there are people who are not ready to talk, but they are ready to listen.
100%.
And it means a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.